I am not sorry for the title of this video. We're going to be learning about how to use this word properly. 네, which means yes, because I see it misused by some beginners. Specifically, I don't hear it being used often enough. I also want to say thanks to my Patreon supporters and channel members for helping me to keep going. So you are the sponsor of today's video, and if you are also interested in becoming a supporter of me and this channel, I'll have links for how you can do that in the description box below. So often Korean teachers, including myself, teach this word, 네, or 예, same thing, to mean yes. And we teach that using it is polite. So you use it when you're speaking politely, but you don't use it when you're speaking casually. Pretty simple, right? But that's not all you need to know about it, because saying yes is way more common in Korean than English. And I don't just mean saying yes to people like agreeing with them, but in many situations you're going to want to say yes, not just if someone asks you a question. So if you're a Korean learner from an English-speaking country, you might not be saying yes often enough. So let's go over some common situations where you need to say yes. Before that, let me show you 4 common ways to say yes. There's 네 and 예, as I already explained, the polite ones, and there's also 응, which is often said as just which is used for casually saying yes. First of all, if someone asks you a question and you want to reply yes, you do not only say yes. So if someone says, "Oh, do you like Korean food?" and you just reply, 네, it's really awkward. And of course it can be awkward in English too, but they're less accepting of short answers like that in Korean than we might be in English. So it's more common to say yes and then an answer. Yes, I really like Korean food, for example. And it can be really awkward if you just say yes or no in response to any question in Korean, so just keep that in mind. Next, the most common time that you're going to say yes is when someone else is talking and you want to show them that you're still paying attention. In this case, saying yes with any of these doesn't literally mean yes. It just means like, yeah. And this is where many beginners misuse yes, because we don't do this quite as much in English as they do in Korean. In Korean, it's common to reply with yes if someone says something to every single thought that they say, not just at the end of what they're talking about, not just after they finish saying something. And this is especially common when you're talking on the phone in Korean, because they can't see you nodding, listening to them. The only way that they're going to know for sure that you're still listening and understanding them is by repeating yes. So yes, you need to keep saying yes after every single separate thought that they say. And this can sound quite humorous. I remember as a beginner kind of laughing to myself when I heard someone answer the phone and all they would say is 네, 네, 네네, 네. And I want to be clear on this. This is completely normal. It's not overly polite. It's not awkward. So anyone listening who's a native speaker wouldn't even blink if they heard someone doing that, because they know all they're doing is just confirming that they're still listening. In fact, if you don't do this, you're going to hear one of 2 things. First, you might hear them ask you, 여보세요? Hello? Or even worse, you might hear them ask you, 무슨 말인지 아시겠어요? Do you understand what I'm saying? So then how often should you be saying yes with any of these in a conversation? First of all, the more often you do it, the more polite it can sound. So if you're talking with someone who you would really want to show extra respect to, maybe your boss or maybe a teacher or just someone you really look up to, you want to use it at the end of every single thought that they say. Next is if you're talking with someone on the phone, you definitely want to say yes whenever there's a bit of silence. Otherwise, they're gonna have no way of knowing if they're still connected to you or if you're still listening. Even when you're talking to friends, you're still going to want to do this. Oh. And you'll do it whenever they bring up a new point or whenever they finish talking about something. And even if you don't want to say yes for every single sentence that they're saying, at least do it whenever there's empty space, and at least make sure that they know you're always listening to them. Now, a bit related to this video, but I also did make another video about more ways that you can use the word yes, which I'll also link in the description if you want to learn more about how these words can be used. Okay, so next, here are some more words that you might want to say in addition to just yes. 네네, yes, yes, or the same for polite or casual speech. You can say yes, yes whenever you want to express that you're telling the other person to go ahead and speak. This can mean, yeah, oh, continue, or go ahead and talk. And this is also another way that you can say yes to show the other person that you're listening, but whenever it sounds like they're going to be talking about something else. The first one of those is variations of the verb 그렇다, meaning to be so, like, is that so, really? For example, 그렇죠, like, oh yeah, that's right, which is often shortened in speech to just 그쵸. Now, this can also be casual. You can also have 그렇지, like that with your friends, but you get the idea. Another one you're going to use is ah. It's just kind of a reaffirming sound that you're still listening, or maybe 아, 네. This can be used when you're like realizing something. Oh yeah, like that. Or another thing that you can do is simply restate what they just said into a quoting form. I'm not going to go over that in this video because that's a separate topic, but I will link a video in the description box below for how you can do that. Okay, and that's it. Where else do you hear people saying yes? Let me know in the comments below, or any other useful ways to show the listener that you're still paying attention. Thanks for watching. Thanks again to my supporters out there, my Patreon members and channel members. You know who you are. And I'll see you again in another video. 그럼 다음에 또 봐!